What up, Dokkaners? So Proton tweeted out the data download information, so I just wanted to quickly go over that stuff. We have a little bit of news in terms of another banner that's coming up, and also the biggest news of all is the data ID gaps. So we'll get to that in just a second. Let me just quickly review everything in here. Big shout out to Proton for all things data download information. Follow him on Twitter at Proton10mg. Okay, thank you. So in here we got a promo movie, STR Gamma 2, Piccolo, AGL Gohan Gamma 1, AGL King Cress. That is the commemorative 2026 collectible thing. In my opinion, you shouldn't get rid of these. Maybe not all of them. You could get rid of some of them because they do redeem for like a high Zenny amount. If you're short on Zenny, you could. But in my opinion, I prefer to just keep all that stuff. It's a fun way to sort of look back at the various moments in Dokkan's history, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, I think we're getting like 9 of these, 3, 6, something like that. I don't know. Dokkan event for Gamma 2. Another Dokkan event for Gohan. Stage 89 for SBR Fused Fighters. DB Story, Dragon Ball Super Superhero. You can even see some of the cutscenes that they're going to be including in there because, you know, they're retelling the events of the movie. And since it's a Dragon Ball Story event, it is now a higher, you know, like a high-end production. So they're showing cutscenes. Have we actually used the... Oh, wait, no. This is now the intro for the STR Cell Max, right? For the longest time, we had this animation and it was never associated with an actual unit. It was just the opening cutscene for that infamous Cell Max event when it first debuted where nobody could win. Yeah. And then we got Beast Gohan. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Actually, wait, no. This is the STR intro animation, I believe. Could be mistaken. Okay. Dragon Ball Story Series Stage 9. Urs, Artificial Life Form Stages 1 and 2. 3 is not in the data download yet. Battlefield 96 for JP, it's 96. For global, it's 93. There's a little discrepancy there, but it doesn't matter. We're on the same page now. New idle animations, you already saw that in the previous video. Support memory, pan frying in the sky. Tickets, did I say pan frying? Yeah, Pan is frying. She's getting all those sun rays. It's frying her up. Okay. Pan flying in the sky. Tickets, treasures, banner assets, unique title. So nothing looks out of the ordinary here. You might be wondering what this XOXO stuff is. They talked about it in the video presentation for the Osaka meetup, that this is going to be like a quiz thing where you can redeem or you can spend those things on either a yes or a no. And depending on if you get it right or wrong, you will get a certain reward. So I will do a video when that stuff starts. There will be a lot more information on all of this stuff when we get to the actual campaign details, which again is not going to be for a few days. They are dropping all of this in the data files 3 days early. We got the pity thing. The pity is not exactly the same as it was before. Normally it's 200 to buy a copy of a character. This time it's 300. They are giving us an extra pity during a dual Dokkan festival, which wasn't something that they would ever do. But yeah, I mean, you could see that how you will. I don't see anything else that's out of the ordinary here. So yeah, I think we're good. So now let's talk about, oh yeah, you know what? Actually, before we get to the data ID stuff, let's also talk about this. So the global is currently under maintenance. So we're not able to see this. But Rick is a data miner. He's able to access this stuff. The new Radiant Dawn banner is going to be here. So this is something that I believe they give earlier in the year for JP. I think during the summertime. I think they call it like the Summer Slam or something like that. But yeah, so this banner, last year we had, I think, almost the exact same banner. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was. And so you would have to spend... You'd have to spend stones to do this multi. You'd get a ticket. And then you could use that ticket to redeem for character exclusive skill orbs for these characters. None of these guys are game changers anymore. Even back then, it was arguable. Maybe, if anything, maybe this guy, Lord Slug, just because demonic power has had, you know, a bit of a resurgence recently. But besides that, I don't feel like any one of these guys is worth getting just custom equips for. Also, wouldn't you be getting custom equips for these worldwide characters anyway during their celebrations? Was that not something we already had? I don't know. This is just another cash grab. If anything, don't summon on this one. Okay, if you have to spend because you just want to spend something, I would rather you try to get the new characters. That's just my opinion. Getting EX orbs is not going to turn UI Goku into the top tier #1 unit in the game. It's not going to happen. It's not going to make Daima Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta #1 unit in the game. None of these guys have the potential to be #1. Not yet. When they get their EZAs down the road, perhaps. But even then, EX orbs only give you a certain amount. It's not worth spending your stones to compromise your 11th anniversary. So please don't. And this was done in response to special exchange ticket 2. Let me find that. Oh yes, it was this one. The blue ticket. Yeah, there you go. All right, so now let's talk about the ID gaps. The infamous ID gaps. Take this with a grain of salt, as always. But when Proton goes through the due diligence, he will check the gaps in the data tables, and we can see a significant gap here of 6 between these two on the English and the JP one, which TLDR signifies the possibility of 2 LR EZAs missing. Again, take it with a grain of salt. It might not necessarily amount to anything because as recently as last celebration, we had some super attack, I think, font script changes or something like that for physical Android 16 and 18. So naturally, we all assumed that EZA was coming up, and guess what? It didn't happen. So just because it appears doesn't mean it is. But based on the track record, based on the timing, it seems very likely that 2 LR EZAs are approaching. Which 2? Those 2. These boys. The Piccolo and Gohan EZAs. Finally, these guys are set to receive their EZAs. Hopefully it actually happens. These guys are long overdue considering it has been 3 years. Well, not long over. Well, yeah, no, yes, long overdue, because this guy was terrible. This guy was actually really, really good. Piccolo was the best unit in the game for a good like half-year stretch at least, especially after he first came out. Like there were a few pieces that came up that you could have argued were better. I think like Bulma was one of the ones that was a major topic of discussion. But yeah, this guy was phenomenal. He was amazing. Obviously, he's aged over time. But these 2 getting EZAs would do wonders for this celebration. This was an incredibly hyped celebration when it happened. Obviously, the fall off was crazy after we learned the truth behind this guy. To have such a beautiful card art to ultimately amount to just an active skill is a crime beyond humanity. So I think if this EZA can redeem this Beast Gohan, this is just a huge if, okay? A huge if. But if we can get this guy's EZA to be top 5, I think the crime that was committed back in 2022 can be forgiven. But it's got to be top 5. That's my hot take. You can let me know if you agree or disagree. There's a lot that they could do to make this guy better. He really had nothing going for him. He was nothing special. The great thing about the Piccolo is that he gave everybody key 2. So that kind of solved your key distribution issues if you weren't able to pick up the right amount of key. This guy had guard initially, damage reduction. Obviously, it looks very minuscule now. But back in the day when it came out, guard and damage reduction was kind of just emerging as a broken combination. So even if the damage reduction was low, it was still nice. So high stats with attacks received. Since he's a defender, you would put him in slot 1. He then had a full heal. He gained extra tankiness. On top of that, he had his God mode where he goes Orange Piccolo. He can deal damage. He can basically exhaust the enemy supers for the duration of a turn. He can hit you with 1 to 2 to maybe even 3 turns of Orange Piccolo. This guy was the complete package. Whereas this clown did nothing. This guy had a little bit of guard. He would combo you here and there. He had a little bit of a chance to nullify. And then, whoops. Then it was this. That's it. So the stakes are incredibly high. They better not screw this up. In fact, let me know in the comments what sort of EZA would you like to see for this guy. If you're the type to come up with concepts and stuff, let me know. I don't really know where to begin. I feel like we got maybe just like throw more combo in here, give him some damage reduction, make the guard permanent. Is that too unreasonable? Make the guard permanent. Maybe if you want to make the stats temporary, sure. Make the guard permanent for both of them. I just don't see any reason for it to not be a permanent thing. The barrier of entry is bringing a bond of master and disciple. That's not like one of the top tier categories, so I think it's fine. But yeah, let me know your ideas in the comments down below. This guy will be number 1. I actually think this guy could be number 1. I also wouldn't mind if these 2 LRs ended up being better than the 8th anniversary LR EZAs. They're going to be getting their EZAs in a month. Call me crazy, but I would rather get this guy to be top tier than Spirit Bomb Z, Spirit Bomb GT. That's just my crazy take. I know some of y'all are going to disagree, but I just think having a Beast Gohan once again return to the top of the food chain would be good for the game. Let me know what you guys think. And that's pretty much it. Now, the last thing that I want to touch on here are the Gammas. The Gammas also are long overdue for EZAs, considering they released 2 months or 3 months earlier. No, 2 months, right? Yeah. They dropped 2 months earlier. This is not to say that the Gamma EZAs won't happen. It just means... Oh, did I get rid of it? Oh, here it is. Like, if this ends up being 2 LR EZAs, it doesn't necessarily mean the Gammas will not get the EZAs for sure. It just means that it could potentially happen later on in the celebration. Maybe during the second half of part 1. Because remember, this is our last banner before the 11th anniversary. The part 2 LR banner might be some sort of a throwaway cash grab attempt, sort of like this Radiant Dawn banner that they're going to be releasing. Wherever I posted that, showed that earlier. Yeah, that's okay. It could be something like that, but maybe to fill the second half, you know, leading into the countdown, they could give us some more hype EZAs. If you look at the banner, oh, I gotta find the banners. I'll probably talk about it during the should you or should you not summon video. But if you look at the banners, you can see Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo, the LRs on the banners, and you can also see the Gammas over there. So the banners are pretty good indications in general of potential EZAs. I feel like these guys could also get them. The androids have been getting into a really good place with some recent releases. Superheroes is getting a nice boost with this, you know, class of characters. If they were to add this on top of it, I think this would be a widely successful celebration. Not to mention, they kind of owe us, considering how lackluster the previous celebration was. There were so many thoughts of additional EZAs, and ultimately in part 2, we got one EZA, and that was the LR AGL Gohan Trunks, right? I don't think we got anything else. That was a big disappointment. I think Android Cell Saga could have used a few more. So hopefully they can turn things around. Since we're getting closer to the 11th anniversary, I think they should, just to bring more interest back into the game. Obviously that will come back when we get there, but if we can start to get people seeing, oh, look at this, they gave this many EZAs, wow, more stones, more hype, all right, I'm on board. And they'll get on board before the 11th anniversary actually begins. Anyway, ramble over. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and ideas and hopes and dreams for these upcoming EZAs. Do you think it's going to happen? Like I said, it's not a guarantee. Take it with a grain of salt. Do you think they actually will deliver and give us the LR Gohan and the LR Piccolo EZAs? Do you think that they will be busted? Who would be better out of the two? Do you think Gohan could surprise us? Let me know your thoughts on the possibility of the Gammas also receiving EZAs. Do you think that that's too much of a pipe dream? It's too good to be true. Dokkan isn't capable of delivering back-to-back miracles. Let me know. Anything else you want to share, feel free to do so in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content of the future and click the notification bell so that you'll let you know you want to see more. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.